In a quiet corner of town, there was a neighborhood where everyone knew each other's names. Friendly waves and warm smiles were common sights as families stepped outside to enjoy the sunshine. Children played together in front yards, riding bikes and playing tag, their laughter ringing through the streets. This was a place where casual gatherings faced no barriers, where summer barbecues and holiday potlucks brought people together at every opportunity. It wasn't unusual to see families inviting neighbors over for dinner or an afternoon chat over lemonade. On weekends, the community often hosted events in the local park, such as picnics and game days, fostering friendships and creating unforgettable memories. Each household had its own charm, with colorful gardens and cozy porches that added to the neighborhood's appeal. The sense of belonging was strong, as everyone contributed to making their community feel like home. They celebrated birthdays together, shared stories over fences, and supported each other during tough times. This was a place rooted in connection, where everyone felt welcome. As twilight descended on warm evenings, it became tradition for families to gather for movie nights in backyards. Blankets spread over grass, fireflies danced in the air, and laughter filled the atmosphere as friends enjoyed films under the stars. It was during one of these peaceful nights that a spark would ignite a division among neighbors, one that would change the dynamic of their tight-knit community. This neighborhood bubble of joy and camaraderie created a perfect setting for many magical moments. But little did they know that not everyone shared this spirit of togetherness. The upcoming movie night would serve as both a celebration and a catalyst for unexpected change, altering the course of harmony in ways nobody could predict. The night of the first backyard movie night arrived, and excitement buzzed in the air. The homeowner had gone all out, setting up a large white screen against the fence and arranging cozy seating with blankets and lawn chairs. Colorful string lights hung overhead, twinkling like stars, while the smell of popcorn wafted through the yard, inviting neighbors to join in the fun. As dusk fell, families began to gather, bringing snacks to share. Laughter filled the air as kids chased each other, their energy contagious. Adults chatted animatedly about their favorite movies while settling into their seats. The atmosphere was warm and welcoming, a perfect reflection of the community they all cherished. Once the movie started, the crowd settled into a comfortable silence, eyes glued to the screen. The film was a family favorite, full of adventure and humor, drawing gasps and giggles from both children and adults alike. Every now and then, someone would burst into laughter at a funny scene, causing others to join in. It felt as if time stood still for those couple of hours, nothing else mattered but the joy they shared in that moment. To enhance the experience, the homeowner had even set up a small popcorn machine that clicked and popped happily on its own. Children lined up for bags of buttery goodness while parents reminisced about their own childhood movie nights. Some neighbors brought homemade treats to share, adding to the festive spirit with cookies and brownies that quickly disappeared. As the credits rolled and everyone applauded, it was clear that this evening had been a success. They gathered together to chat about future films they wanted to watch next time, unaware that not everyone was enjoying the joyous occasion. Little did they know that one neighbor would soon view this gathering as a threat rather than a celebration, setting off events that would change everything. While the backyard movie night brought joy to many, it left Karen feeling uneasy. Living just a few houses down from the homeowner, Karen had always prided herself on maintaining a quiet and peaceful environment. She enjoyed her solitude and preferred to keep her evening serene, free from noise and commotion. The excited laughter and chatter of her neighbors during the movie night felt like an invasion of her peaceful bubble. As she watched families gather and enjoyed themselves from behind her window curtains, a sense of dread washed over her. What if this becomes a regular thing, she thought anxiously. The idea of weekly gatherings filled her with concern, she simply could not understand why such noisy get-togethers were necessary. Karen's worries deepened as images of chaotic crowds and loud music swirled in her mind. She couldn't shake the thought that these gatherings were unauthorized public events, breaching some unwritten rule of neighborhood conduct. After all, they were attracting more and more people each week, and the noise level seemed to rise with their numbers. That night, she decided to take action. Without hesitation, Karen picked up her phone and called the police. As she explained her worries about unauthorized gatherings and disturbances late into the night, she hoped they would understand her concerns. The operator remained calm, assuring her that they would send someone to check on the situation. When the police arrived at the scene, they found nothing amiss, just a group of happy neighbors enjoying a film together. After speaking with them briefly, the officers assured everyone that they were welcome to gather as they pleased. This response only fueled Karen's frustration. She felt isolated in her views and worried about what the future held for her once quiet neighborhood. Little did she know, this would be just the beginning of a growing divide among neighbors. As the laughter and chatter continued around the backyard, 2 police officers arrived to address Karen's call. They stepped out of their car, greeted by the cheerful ambience of families enjoying the evening. The officers exchanged friendly smiles and approached the gathering with a relaxed demeanor, keen to assess the situation. "Good evening, everyone," one of the officers called out, his voice warm and inviting. The group turned to face them, curious but not alarmed. The officer continued, "We just wanted to check in due to a noise complaint. How's the movie night going?" The homeowners and neighbors responded enthusiastically, sharing how much fun they were having. The film was captivating, and popcorn filled the air with an inviting aroma. Children giggled and waved at the officers, clearly enjoying the lively atmosphere. The officers were struck by how happy everyone looked, a stark contrast to the concerns that had prompted the call. After a few moments of conversation, one officer reassured the gathering. "Just so you know, it's perfectly fine for you all to gather here like this. As long as everyone is safe and respecting each other's space, you can continue enjoying your movie nights." The neighbors exchanged relieved glances, grateful for the supportive response. After checking that everything was indeed in order, the officers thanked everyone for their cooperation and made their way back to their patrol car. As they left, they could hear snippets of laughter and excitement returning to the air. This visit by the police, rather than causing any disruption, only reinforced the community spirit among the neighbors. Relieved and emboldened by the assurance they received, they returned to their enjoyment of the night, not realizing how these interactions would soon deepen the divide in their neighborhood. Buoyed by the positive response from her neighbors and the police visit, the homeowner felt a renewed sense of purpose. She glanced around at the smiling faces and families enjoying movie night together, and it struck her just how much joy these gatherings brought to the community. The laughter of children playing, the aroma of popcorn wafting through the yard, and the camaraderie among friends fueled her determination to keep this spirit alive. Inspired, she decided to make Friday movie nights a regular event for everyone on the block. The following week, she put up colorful flyers inviting all her neighbors for an evening of fun and films under the stars. She knew that by turning this into a weekly tradition, they could build even stronger connections within their community. She spent time planning for these events, investing in equipment like a better projector and sound system to enhance everyone's experience. She also acquired a large popcorn machine that would churn out fresh popcorn with every movie night, an instant hit with kids and adults alike. Each week, she set up cozy seating arrangements with blankets, lawn chairs, and cushions, creating an inviting space where everyone felt welcome. As the Friday movie nights continued, attendance grew week by week. Neighbors began bringing their own snacks to share, contributing to a sense of togetherness as they gathered around to enjoy films ranging from classic animations to recent blockbusters. Conversations flowed freely as families bonded over shared interests and favorite movies. Meanwhile, Karen remained tucked away indoors, increasingly dissatisfied with how things had evolved. Though she hoped her complaints would lead to a stop of these gatherings, she only saw them expand into a beautiful tradition cherished by many. The homeowner's determination transformed these nights into more than just movie viewings, they became cherished events that reinforced the bonds of community spirit across the block. As the excitement for Friday movie nights grew, the homeowner knew she had to plan for even more fun. She began by scouting local stores for the best deals on a larger projector and speakers that could fill the backyard with sound. Each day after work, she returned home with new items, her enthusiasm infectious as she shared her plans with neighbors who eagerly offered to help. The backyard transformed into a mini theater, with colorful decorations that added to the festive atmosphere. Bright string lights were hung around the yard and along the fence, creating a magical glow as dusk approached. The homeowner even added fun signs pointing to Snack Central and Movie Zone, which made everyone smile as they arrived for the festivities. To ensure that everyone had a great time, she set up a designated area for snacks. A shiny popcorn machine stood proudly, puffing out fresh popcorn that filled the air with its buttery aroma. She placed bowls of candy and drinks nearby, encouraging families to bring their favorite treats to share. This sense of contribution made each movie night feel like a potluck party, where everyone had a role in creating the fun. Word spread quickly throughout the neighborhood, and families began to mark their calendars for these Friday gatherings. Children eagerly anticipated which movie would play next, while parents bonded over conversations about their favorite films from childhood. The air buzzed with energy as neighbors exchanged ideas for future movie selections, from animated classics to family-friendly adventures. While laughter and excitement filled the evenings, Karen remained indoors, peering through her curtains in discontent. Little did she know that as movie nights became more popular, they would only deepen friendships among neighbors while further isolating her from this blossoming community spirit. The preparations for these gatherings paved the way for connections that would change the neighborhood dynamic forever. As the weeks rolled on, Friday movie nights became a beloved tradition that drew more families from the neighborhood. Word of mouth did wonders, parents began sharing their excitement with friends, and soon cars started filling the streets on Friday evenings. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation as children rushed to grab their favorite spots on blankets and lawn chairs, eager to see which film would light up the screen next. Neighbors arrived early, hungry for popcorn and ready to catch up with one another. The sense of community spirit grew stronger with each gathering, as laughter and cheerful chatter filled the air. Parents exchanged stories about their lives, shared tips on raising kids, and bonded over every genre of film imaginable, from animated classics to thrilling adventures. This thriving social scene added a warmth that had been missing in the neighborhood for some time. Families who had lived next door to each other for years but rarely spoke began connecting anew, sharing meals or coordinating treat contributions for movie nights. One neighbor even started a monthly, theme night, where everyone could dress up according to the movie being shown, adding an extra spark of fun to the gatherings. As attendance reached new heights, there were sometimes so many people that they had to set up a second screen in the yard. The atmosphere felt like a festival, a welcoming place where everyone had a visible role in creating memories together. Meanwhile, Karen remained hidden inside her home, reluctantly aware of the growing number of families enjoying themselves outside her window. Each night that passed only intensified her feelings of isolation as she watched from afar. She couldn't comprehend how these gatherings brought joy to many but only deepened her unhappiness. Unknown to her, while she withdrew further into solitude, the rest of the neighborhood thrived in connection and friendship through their newfound cinema tradition. As the Friday movie nights continued to thrive, Karen found herself retreating deeper into her home. Each week, as laughter and excitement spilled from her neighbors' backyards, she felt a growing sense of alienation. From her window, she could see the flickering lights and hear the cheerful shouts of children as they ran around in joy. It was a stark reminder of how disconnected she had become from a community that once felt like home. Karen spent those evenings perched on her couch, curtains drawn tight, trying to drown out the sounds of happiness outside. She clutched her favorite blanket, hoping that its warmth would somehow shield her from the feelings of loneliness creeping in. Instead of joining in on the fun, she allowed herself to wallow in frustration and resentment. Her thoughts were filled with complaints about noise, chaos, and what she perceived as a lack of respect for quiet in their neighborhood. With each passing week, Karen's isolation grew more palpable. She avoided even looking out the window, fearing that the sight of families coming together would only amplify her sadness. The vibrant life outside her door became a painful contrast to her own solitude. At times, she contemplated stepping outside to voice her concerns again but hesitated, fearing the judgment of neighbors who seemed so happy. While friendships blossomed and bonds strengthened among the other families, Karen felt increasingly invisible. Her heart ached as she recalled days when she had enjoyed barbecues and gatherings with her own family. Now, those memories felt like distant echoes against the lively chatter that filled the air every Friday night. Torn between her desire for peace and her longing for connection, Karen remained confined within her walls. Little did she know that while she watched from afar, the neighborhood spirit continued to flourish, creating a rift that would prove harder to bridge as time went on. The Friday movie nights not only became a source of entertainment but also a powerful force in strengthening the bonds among neighbors. Each week, more families came together, excited to share in the fun. The gatherings provided an opportunity for friendships to blossom and deepen, as neighbors connected over shared snacks and laughter. Families who had once exchanged polite waves began engaging in meaningful conversations, discovering common interests and forming new alliances. The atmosphere was filled with warmth and inclusivity. Children ran freely, their joy echoing through the air as they played together during the previews. Parents gathered to chat, sharing parenting tips or discussing weekend plans, all while enjoying delicious popcorn and homemade treats. One night, a neighbor brought along a karaoke machine, turning the event into an impromptu sing-along where everyone joined in on their favorite tunes. It was moments like these that made the movie nights feel like a neighborhood festival. As friendships formed and connections grew stronger, the sense of community spirit flourished despite Karen's objections. The joy radiating from the backyards became contagious. Even those who initially hesitated about the noise found themselves drawn into the lively atmosphere. Neighbors began hosting potlucks alongside movie nights, showcasing their culinary talents and encouraging others to join in. While Karen remained isolated inside her home, unable to understand how everyone could enjoy themselves so heartily in what she viewed as chaos, her absence highlighted the importance of connection. The rest of the neighborhood showcased their support for one another through these gatherings, demonstrating that community could thrive even when faced with dissent. Through laughter and shared experiences, Friday movie nights transformed not just the backyard but the very fabric of their neighborhood. They reminded everyone that togetherness can overcome objections and build unbreakable bonds, creating a cherished community filled with love and friendship, something Karen yearned for but felt increasingly distant from. As the seasons changed and the warmth of summer faded into the crisp air of autumn, Friday movie nights continued to thrive in the neighborhood. Each week, laughter and joy filled the streets as families gathered to enjoy films under a starlit sky, creating a tradition that brought everyone closer together. Even as Karen remained inside her home, choosing solitude over connection, her neighbors had formed an unbreakable bond united by shared experiences and happiness. The sense of community spirit was palpable. Neighbors rallied together not just for movie nights but also for impromptu barbecues and potluck dinners. They celebrated birthdays, holidays, and even random Tuesday evenings with food, music, and laughter. The backyard cinema had become a symbol of resilience, a testament to how a shared love for movies could knit the fabric of their lives tighter. Every so often during movie nights, they would raise their glasses in cheers to celebrate friendship and togetherness, making wishes for each other's happiness. Children scampered about, giggling in delight as they played games together during intermissions. Parents exchanged notes on everything from gardening tips to school projects while enjoying popcorn seasoned just right. Despite Karen's absence from these joyous gatherings, her neighbors respected her choice while still inviting her along. They left invitations at her door folded neatly with kind words encouraging her to join them. Yet those invitations remained untouched, existing as silent reminders of what she was missing, the warmth of community that thrived outside her window. As Friday nights rolled on, it became clear that while Karen chose isolation, it only served to deepen their unity. The laughter that echoed through backyards was not just a celebration of films, it reflected the triumph of community spirit over divisiveness. Life blossomed around her, a vibrant tapestry woven from togetherness, and slowly but surely, the movie nights became part of an enduring legacy in their neighborhood, one that might someday entice Karen back into the light she longed for but couldn't yet embrace.